Symptoms of depression in women. How for real is this? Well, I looked it up on WebMD, so let's see how correct they have it, right? Okay, so our first one is symptoms of depression in women. Persistent, sad, anxious, or empty mood. Yeah, that's about right. Persistent, sad. Definitely sad. Definitely persistently anxious and persistently empty mood. Yeah, I would say that's about like 50% of my days. All right, moving on. The next bullet point is loss of interest or pleasure in activities including sex. Loss of interest, pleasure in activities. Yeah, definitely losing pleasure and all of those activities. Losing interest, definitely losing interest when I'm depressed. I lose interest in most things, and I feel like I don't know what to do. Kind of feel like I'm in limbo, not knowing what to do, not feeling any sort of joy in anything that I'm doing or anything that I want to do. Yeah, so it's about right. Restlessness, irritability, or excessive crying. For me, I don't really excessively cry. When I was younger, I was always told to shut up or called stupid if I was crying. So as I grew up, crying wasn't something that I did often. So I would say that really depends on the person. I don't have excessive crying, but I'm definitely constantly restless. I always feel like I need to be working harder and way more than I already do. Irritability, yeah, I would say so. I would say if I wasn't on Prozac, that I would probably be way more irritable naturally than I am being on it. All right, next bullet point. Feelings of guilt, worthlessness, helplessness, hopelessness, pessimism. Feelings of guilt. Yeah, that's a big one. I constantly feel guilt. Guilty that I'm just never doing enough. Guilty for many things. But those are things I can think of at the moment. Worthlessness. Constantly. I always constantly feel worthless. Like I'm never enough. Never doing enough. Never working hard enough. Not attractive enough. Not thin enough. Not this enough. Not that enough. That's pretty much me altogether. Helplessness. Helpless. I don't really ever feel helpless aside from financially because, well, if you have agoraphobia and you live in New York State, it's pretty much impossible to get any sort of financial help. So helplessness financially is a big thing there. Hopelessness. Hopeless, of course. The future feels hopeless. And when the hopelessness becomes very intense, that's the worst time. I'm trying to see how much time I have left. Because the intense hopelessness leads to suicidal thoughts. Pessimism, yes, of course. But I would really categorize my pessimism as more of like a realism, a more realistic based on my experiences and how I grew up and the experiences I've gone through, the people that I met and the experiences I've had with them. Not very good. So very realistic for me would be pessimistic to a lot of people. Okay. Sleeping too much or too little, early morning waking. I have insomnia. So sleeping too much, I only sleep too much when I get really depressed and suicidal. That's usually when I sleep a lot, when I feel completely hopeless and like, what the fuck is the point of even being awake? So I sleep a whole lot during that time, or too little, yeah, because insomnia, my mind is constantly working on overtime, constantly thinking about too much. What I could be doing, what I'm not doing, what I should be doing, what I wish I could be doing. I mean, it's just freaking chaos in my mind at night. Appetite, weight gain, loss, or overeating. I've kind of gone in between there. I hate food. I hate being hungry. I find it completely irritating. To be hungry is so irritating. And it's so expensive to eat. And, I don't get food stamps, so it's expensive to eat. And you can't really eat healthy, and so I just don't want to eat a lot of the time because, things I want to eat are fresh, but those fresh things are so expensive. So I can only afford to eat crap food, in which case I don't even want to eat. And then I get depressed because I can't eat food that would make me feel good. So I get depressed about that, and, it just continues. It seems like, just a little... I was watching Joe Rogan not too long ago, and he said $1,000 a month wouldn't really help people. But I'm telling you, Mr. Joe Rogan, for someone like me, $1,000 a month would really fucking help me a whole lot. Because at least I would get help with food, and eating healthy food, and at least feeling physically better. That's a big thing when it comes to depression. People don't understand how food and appetite is a big thing. That's like another video. I'm not even going to get into it right now. But let's see. Another bullet point. Fatigue. Decreased energy. Feeling slowed down. Definitely fatigued. I feel tired all the time. I feel like I just don't have the freaking energy. And working out is actually painful inside, internally. It's just painful and uncomfortable. And I just hate doing it. I absolutely hate it. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good inside. And maybe that has to do with not getting the adequate nutrition that's necessary. So maybe those two are tied in somehow. The food and the energy. Probably. $1,000 a month would really help someone like me. Difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions. Difficulty concentrating, definitely, because when I'm depressed, my mind is going like 5 million miles an hour, or I'm just or just completely hopeless. So it's hard to concentrate in those times. Remembering or making decisions. Never knowing. I never know what decision is the right decision to make. And I'm always second guessing myself with a lot of things. And even when I make a decision, it's always like, did I make that right decision? Was that the decision I should have made? Should I not have made that decision? Is this right? Is this, like, should I be... I don't... You know what I mean. I only got a couple more on here and then we're done. Oh, on the back. Okay. Persistent physical symptoms that do not respond to treatment, such as headaches, digestive disorders, and chronic pain. Yes. Okay. That's a big thing right there. Persistent physical symptoms. I constantly have stomach aches. Constantly never feeling physically comfortable whatsoever. My stomach, my intestines never feels good. Always feels shitty. Constant stomach pains. Definitely don't respond to my physical pains when it comes to like the stomach and the intestines and stuff, that never ever physically gets better. Always feels shitty. I used to get really bad headaches. I don't anymore. It's usually just like a chronic stomach pain. And I believe that not only is that from not getting the correct nutrition because, I can't afford it, but also from anxiety. So, for someone like me, who suffers from the severe depression and the severe anxiety, the insomnia, and the agoraphobia, $1,000 a month, man, would be really helpful, because I would at least not not have to worry and not have that extra anxiety hanging over me because I don't know how I'm going to afford to feed myself the adequate nutrition that is needed so I don't feel like crap for the next month. When I actually am able to somewhat afford, when I get the help randomly once in a great while from someone, my body feels good. But the crappy part is that I feel really depressed after that because I know I'm going to have to go back to feeling like crap with my stomach in constant pain. Not having food, man, not having the adequate nutrition necessary, really affects. It really makes the depression 5,000 times worse. And when you have agoraphobia, it's absolutely impossible to get that kind of help from the government. So I've been doing these videos and just trying to get help with feeding myself every month. Ramen noodles only go so far, and it's not nutritious enough. There's no nutrition in it in order for me to feel any better. So I'm just pretty much sustaining my hopeless, painful, stomach in knots, anxious, insomniac existence. I don't know how long I can last like this. Maybe one day I can afford to feed myself and actually feel better. Help my stomach feel better so I don't feel so damn depressed. And maybe not feel suicidal. Maybe one day I can say, hey, it's been a month since I thought about killing myself. You'd be surprised how much just a little bit of money will help somebody like me in just feeding myself. Just want to feel like crap. The physical ailments.